So imagine if every piece of clothing that you put on your body looked amazing. Seriously, you walk outside and you are just getting compliments. Now, the funny thing is this happens to a lot of guys that are implementing my advice when they're wearing just their everyday normal clothing. So what's their secret to looking good without even trying? Gents, it's no secret. It's called the style pyramid. And in today's video, I'm going to give you an introduction to this powerful technique. So the basic concept of the style pyramid is that everything you wear will meet this basic criteria. It will fit your body, it will be of the right function, and it will be made from the right fabric. This may sound simple, but most guys are violating one of these three tenets. And this is what happens, is they end up walking out wearing something that has potential, but then fails. It makes them look not nearly as good as they can be. And even worse, sometimes it makes a guy look just outright bad. That's what we want to prevent. We want to make sure that you're not just meeting the basic, but you're eventually starting to master each of these three. And therefore, when you walk out, you look amazing just wearing normal clothing. Let's start things off by talking about the advantages of the style pyramid. The first one is that you're going to save money. So when you use the style pyramid, every piece of clothing that you buy, you're actually going to wear. I know that sounds very simple, but how many of you guys own a closet of clothing that a lot of these pieces you've never actually worn? Gents, let me be clear. The most expensive clothing in your wardrobe are the pieces that you never wear. The next advantage of the style pyramid, it's going to make you look great. You're going to get compliments when you're wearing just your regular clothing, especially if you've got a good body and you take care of yourself. But even if you have a body, that could use some work, guess what? When you wear the right clothing that fits you, it's going to enhance your natural strengths and downplay your weaknesses. And that should be the job of clothing, to enhance. You wear clothing because it sends a signal. It sends a message. And when you can master that, and when all of a sudden it makes you look stronger, it makes you look taller, it makes you look more lean, all of a sudden you're going to come off sometimes as more competent, as more believable, as more of an authority figure. And this can translate to you earning more money. And that, gentlemen, leads me right into the next advantage. If you dress well, if you master the style pyramid, you will earn more money. Attractive people, on average, earn over $232,000 more over their career. Why does this happen? Because if you take attractiveness and you substitute it for strength, for vitality, for basically health, we want to do business. We want to engage with, we want to work with, and be around healthy people. So when you dress the part of a healthy person, of what society views as a success, you know you're going to be aligned with more business, with more success. Now, before you leverage the power of the style pyramid, there are a few things you're going to need to have. First up, your measurements. You want to have the measurements of your body, and you want to have the measurements of your best fitted clothing. Because here's the deal, is when you go out there and you're shopping online, you're buying at stores, understand sizes lie to you. Every company has different models they use. One medium in one company is not going to be the medium in another. So you need to know, okay, not only what are my skin measurements, but the best fitted clothing I've got in my wardrobe, my go-to pieces, which look great on me already. Okay, what is the length of that jacket? What is the shoulder width? What is the length of the sleeve on that shirt? What is the chest measurement? So when you go in and you're buying clothing, you know exactly what to get. Now, gentlemen, if you're enjoying this video, click on that like button. And if you're new to Real Men Real Style, welcome and subscribe. Guys, click on that subscribe button. Click on that icon, that bell icon, so that you get the notifications when these videos go live. And don't forget, guys, leave a comment. I love hearing from my early notification squad and recognizing you guys in these videos. Next up, gents, you want to have a budget. You want to start putting away money now. Putting money on a credit card, that's not a budget, guys, but you want to have money set aside so you can go out there and buy the clothing that is going to fill in and is going to meet the standards we're talking about. And at the very least, you need to have money so you can get your clothing adjusted to fit you. Next, you want to develop your personal style. 5 things you want to think about. Your body type. Are you a big guy? You're a small guy? You're a thin guy? You're a thick guy? In any case, you want to choose certain styles which are going to complement that particular body build. Next up, you want to think about your physical environment, the clothing you choose and what you're going out there and is going to meet this criteria. You want to make sure, okay, is this good for the environment? If you're in Chicago, different set of clothing and pieces you're going to go after than if you're in London. Next up, let's talk about your profession. So if you're over in the entertainment industry, over in Mumbai, a different type of style than if you're in the banking industry in New York. The next part of your personal style is going to be your personal preferences. This is the colors and styles that you just simply like. And finally, let's talk about where you see yourself. This is that successful man you're going to be in 5, 10, maybe 15 years. You're going to be owning that entertainment industry. Yeah, you're in the banking industry now. You've got to be very conservative in your dress, but you want to bring in a bit of flair because your personality fits where you're going. And this is how it all goes together. Once you bring it all together, that is your personal style. So now let's get into the 3 parts of the style pyramid: fit, function, and fabric in detail. Fit. So why does the fit of your clothing matter? It all comes down to proportions and what human beings perceive when they see you wearing the clothing. If you wear clothing that doesn't fit you properly, it's going to not only throw off your proportions, it's going to prevent the clothing from doing what it should do, which is to enhance your natural strengths and to downplay your weaknesses. So let's say you're a shorter individual and you are wearing pants, trousers that don't fit you properly, and the crotch goes down. So what this does is it makes you look even shorter. It makes you look stout. It makes you look out of proportion, not normal. And when I'm talking about fit, all of your clothing needs to fit you, not just your dress clothing, but your jeans, your casual button downs, your t-shirts. Everything needs to fit you. So many guys are violating this. It just makes you look disproportional and it pulls away from your overall image and style. Gents, know the name of your tailor, take your jeans to get adjusted, and even when an item is 99% off, if it doesn't fit you, then don't purchase it. It's not going to be a good investment no matter how much you think you're saving. And now you're probably asking, Antonio, well, how should my clothing fit? Well, guess what? I've got tons of infographics for you. You want an infographic on how a suit should fit? I've got you covered. You want an infographic on how a shirt should fit? I've got you covered. How your jeans should fit? I've got you covered. I'm going to link to all of that down in the description. So go check it out, guys, if you want more information on how specifically your clothing should fit. Now let's talk about the second part of the style pyramid: function. And when I mean function, your clothing should serve as a tool. It should enhance your experience and your skills. It should never detract from you. An example: so you like to dress well, you're a bit of a dandy, and you go to a networking event, and it's a casual networking event, but you're like, you know what, I'm going to dress the way I want to, and you overdress, and you wear clothing that makes you look aloof, and people don't approach you. They don't want to engage with you because you come off as pretentious. In this case, your clothing has worked against you. It did not serve its function. And that's something I really want to stress on, because I do believe a man can be overdressed. And I do believe that clothing is a tool that we should use to get what we want out of life. I don't serve my clothing. My clothing should serve me. So understand that clothing, whether you've got business casual, you've got a business attire, you want ultra casual, understand what is the function that this clothing is going to serve, and then wear the appropriate clothing. Another part of function is, does the clothing serve the environment you're in? So if you're in Seattle and it rains a lot, guess what? You want to have a rain jacket. That's a great investment. If you're in New York or Chicago during the winter, you want to make sure you got headwear that protects you from the elements. My point, gentlemen, is make sure that your clothing functions and it serves you. The third part of the style pyramid, gentlemen: fabric. And when I say fabric, I'm talking about material and quality of build, not specifically the fabric of a suit or of a shirt, although that is an indicator oftentimes of quality. So you want to be able to go out when you're buying clothing to be able to identify what is good and what is not good. And believe me, there are some not good pieces that sell at a high price, some great pieces that sell at a fair, very actually medium, I think low price. So that's why I talk about the different types of leathers, the different types of suit jacket fabrics, of build quality when it comes to shoes. I've talked about this before in other videos, which I will link to down in the description, how to identify quality shoes. The same with jackets, the same with shirts. I talk about going in and looking at the inside of a jacket, looking at the stitching on a shirt. If they paid attention to the number of stitches per inch, if they've used mother of pearl buttons, if they used contrasting, stitching right here on the buttons, and if they've used a floating canvas in the jacket. All of these are indicators and great indicators of quality. But what about casual clothing? Do the same quality standards apply? The answer is yes, but sometimes to a lesser degree. All these details that I talk about with these other pieces can actually be applied still to casual clothing, even t-shirts, even casual button downs, and even denim. And gentlemen, if you want videos on how to identify a quality suit, quality shirt, quality shoes, I'm linking to those videos down in the description of this video so you can go and check them out. So you may have the question, Antonio, is it important? Fit, function, fabric. You go in that order. Is there a reason for it? And the answer is yes. So fit is king and fit is the most important. Now, in an ideal world, think of this like an equation where you've got 5 times 5 times 5. So if you were to take one of those 5s out and put in a 0, what happens? We zero out the whole equation. So a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Yes, fit is the most important, but you don't want to forget about the fabric, about the function. And the reason this is important is we've all got limited resources. I realize that many of you guys starting off, you go like, okay, Antonio, I can nail one of these. I can do pretty good on another, but I'm gonna have to compromise on the third. Well, in that case, nail the fit. Go for the right function, but if you have to compromise on the build quality. Now, that being said, when you compromise on fabric, when you buy inexpensive shoes and opt to buy a suit that fits you really well, looks great, what you want to do is as soon as you can, as soon as you save up money, you want to go buy a better pair of shoes that's going to match and possibly even outpace the suit. And then eventually you'll want to upgrade the suit. You'll want to upgrade all the various pieces in your wardrobe so they eventually average out and match up. So how to get started with the style pyramid, how to implement this. First, go to your wardrobe. You're going to ask a simple question. Does this fit me? And if the answer is yes, put it on one side. If the answer is no, put it on another. So then let's look at the no's. Can this be adjusted to fit me? If the answer is yes, put it over here. If the answer is no, then you want to donate this. All right, so now you got the two piles, clothing that fits you, clothing that can be adjusted to fit you. Now you want to think about the function of the clothing. Does it serve the purpose of sending the message you want to send? Not every piece has to do this, but you want to make sure, okay, if something is sending a message you do not want to send, you want to get rid of it. Next up, you want to identify the holes in your wardrobe. These are areas, parts of your wardrobe where you're weak. If you remember, I talked about this in the interchangeable wardrobe, which I will link to down in the description. That video, I talked about how you got to have balance in your wardrobe. So if you've got 4 shirts, you've got 4 pairs of trousers, you've got 4 jackets, but you only have 1 pair of shoes, okay, then you want to go in and add to there. But in this case, maybe you got rid of a lot of shirts because they didn't fit you. They did not send the message you want to send. They had holes, they had stains, they were just way too large. In that case, you're going to want to then beef up this part of your wardrobe. And now at this point, you want to look to upgrade. What you're going to do is identify something that you're using or you will be using, and you want to basically level it up. So you've got that suit you bought 5 years ago. The fit is good still, but the material, not so good. So you're about to get that promotion. You're going to be wearing a suit 3 to 4 times a week. Well, guess what? Now is time to put aside the money to start looking for a suit that not only fits you, but is going to probably cost 4 to 5 times more than that first suit because you're going to buy quality materials. Okay, so what video to watch next? Guys, go check out the interchangeable wardrobe. This video, I go into a lot more detail about one of the key concepts of being a well-dressed man. I find that this is something I've talked about many times, but a lot of you guys don't know exactly what I mean, so I created this video for you right here. Again, I'm linking to it down in the description. All right, guys, what'd you think? I thought it was a pretty good video, but let me know. I want to hear from you guys down in the comments. And gentlemen, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything we've built. That's why over at my website, I've got tons of free goodies for you. So you want to book on simply how to dress casually, how to dress sharp, got you covered. You want to book on shoes, I've got you covered. How to identify quality. You want to book on watches, I've got you covered. Guys, tons of free ebooks over at my website, Real Men, Real Style. I will be linking to them down in the description. That's it, gentlemen. Take care. I will see you in the next video.